Hello friends, welcome back. Have you ever felt like a song could just unlock a memory? Not just any memory, but one so strong, so clear. It feels like it's happening all over again right now. Like a sudden kick to your mind, telling you to pay attention. That's how our story begins, with a man named Toru Watanabe, years after the events he's about to share. He's listening to the Beatles' song Norwegian Wood on an airplane. And suddenly, memories of a deep, complicated love come flooding back. Today, we're diving into Haruki Murakami's Norwegian Wood, a beautiful, heartfelt novel that explores how we deal with loss, find our way in a confusing world, and learn to truly love. It's a book about growing up, even when it hurts. Now, before we jump into Toru's story, let's talk a little about the amazing mind behind it. Haruki Murakami. He was born in Kyoto, Japan, back in 1949. Murakami is famous for a unique writing style that blends everyday life with just a touch of the magical or surreal. Think talking cats or mysterious figures. His stories often dive deep into people's feelings and thoughts, revealing hidden parts of the human mind. He's written many popular books, like Kafka on the Shore, The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, and Dance, Dance, Dance. You might even know his non-fiction work like What I Talk About When I Talk About Running. He's won many awards, even the prestigious Franz Kafka Prize, and his books have been translated into over 40 languages, meaning people all over the world love his work. In Norwegian Wood, we follow a few very important people. Toru Watanabe. He's our main character, who tells us the story. He's a quiet, thoughtful young man who often feels a bit alone, even when surrounded by others. He's trying to figure out life and love after a huge sadness. Naoko, Toru's first real love. She's beautiful and gentle, but also very fragile, like a delicate flower. She carries a deep sadness inside her, struggling with big feelings that are hard to understand. Kizuki, Toru's best friend and Naoko's boyfriend. He's the center of their world, a fun and caring person. But his sudden action changes everything for Toru and Naoko. Midori. She's lively, bold, and incredibly honest, even when it's uncomfortable. She's like a splash of bright color in Toru's often gloomy life, always ready to speak her mind and live fully. Riko Ishida. Naoko's older roommate at a special place. She's wise, kind, and a bit mysterious. She helps people by sharing her own tough experiences and has a deep understanding of human feelings. Nagsawa, Toru's older dorm mate. He's super smart and ambitious, but also a bit cold and uses people. He believes in being strong and getting what you want in life. Our story mainly takes place in Tokyo, Japan, during the late 1960s. Imagine a time when young people were questioning everything, and universities were full of protests and big ideas. Toru lives in a rather strange university dorm and later in his own small house. But a significant part of the story also takes us to a quiet, secluded sanatorium nestled in the beautiful Kyoto mountains where people go to heal their minds. The main idea of the story is how Toru tries to find his own path and heal from deep sadness after someone he loves very much makes a tragic choice. It's about learning to live and connect with others when everything feels broken. Let's break down Toru's journey. Act 1. The Shadow of Loss. A story begins in high school with Toru and his two best friends, Kizuki and Naoko. They are inseparable, always together, feeling like their own perfect little world. But then, a terrible thing happens. Kizuki, at just 17, dies by suicide without any explanation. This moment changes everything. For Toru, death suddenly becomes a very real, very close part of life, something he can't ignore. Toru moves to Tokyo for university, hoping to leave the sadness behind, but it's like a knot of air stuck inside his chest. He reconnects with Naoko, and they start taking long walks every Sunday. They share a silent understanding of their shared grief for Kizuki. Naoko, however, is struggling deeply. She finds it hard to express herself, feeling split in two. On her 20th birthday, she and Toru sleep together. It's a complicated moment for Naoko, who later feels it was a violation because of her own inner struggles. Soon after, Naoko mysteriously moves away to a special place called Ami Hostel, a sanatorium in the Kyoto mountains, sending Toru a letter saying she needs to heal alone. Act 2. Navigating the labyrinth now, Toru feels even more alone and confused in Tokyo. He studies, works a boring job, and tries to keep moving. But then, two very different people come into his life. First, Midori, a lively and outspoken girl from his drama class. She's completely different from Naoko, full of energy and very direct. She owns a small bookstore with her family and speaks her mind, even about difficult things like death or her family's struggles. She challenges Toru, making him feel things he's not used to. Then there's Nagasawa, an older student at his dorm. Nagasawa is brilliant and ambitious, but also cold and self-centered. He sees life as a game and often uses women for casual encounters. Toru sometimes goes along with Nagasawa's adventures, but he feels empty afterward, realizing he's just going through the motions. Toru visits Naoko at the Ami hostel, where he meets Riko, Naoko's insightful roommate. Riko is like a kind older sister to Naoko, and she helps Toru understand Naoko's struggles. Riko also shares her own incredibly sad and shocking story, how a dream of being a concert pianist was shattered by mysterious illness, and how she was deeply hurt by manipulative, lying young piano student who spread terrible rumors about her, ruining her life outside the sanatorium. This story shows how fragile people's minds can be and how deeply emotional wounds can run. Back in Tokyo, Midori's father gets very sick and dies. Toru spends time with Midori at the hospital, seeing her strength and honesty in the face of death. He even bonds with her quiet father by sharing cucumbers. Midori eventually tells Toru that she's fallen in love with him, and she wants him to choose her fully and honestly. This creates a huge dilemma for Toru, who still feels a deep sense of responsibility and love for Naoko. Act 3. Towards a new beginning. Sadly, Naoko's condition at the sanatorium worsens, and she is transferred to another hospital for more intense care. Despite everyone's hopes, Naoko ultimately dies by suicide. This is a devastating blow for Toru. He leaves Tokyo and wanders aimlessly, trying to process his grief. He realizes that no matter how much you understand death, no truth can cure the sorrow we feel from losing a loved one. After some time, Riko also decides to leave the sanatorium after 8 years. She comes to Tokyo to see Toru and offers him profound advice. She tells him to allow himself to feel the pain of loss, but to also choose happiness with Midori. She says, if you don't want to spend time in an insane asylum, you have to open up a little more and let yourself go with life's natural flow. Riko and Toru even have a very special, bittersweet funeral for Naoko, playing her favorite songs on the guitar and finding comfort in shared experience. In a moment of deep connection, they also share a physical intimacy, a quiet acknowledgement of their shared past and pain. Finally, Toru makes a decision. He calls Midori. He tells her, all I want in this world is you. I want to see you and talk. I want the two of us to begin everything from the beginning. This book is packed with big ideas and meaningful symbols. Loss and grief. The most powerful theme is how losing someone dear can change you forever. Toru learns that grief isn't something you just get over. It stays with you, sometimes like a phantom limb. Mental health. The novel bravely explores mental illness through Naoko and Riko. It shows how deeply it can affect lives, and how difficult it is to truly understand and heal. The sanatorium itself represents a place of fragile healing, cut off from the harsh, normal world. Coming of age, Toru's journey is all about growing up. He starts as a detached teenager, but learns to take responsibility, embrace emotions, and choose to live fully even when life is hard. He realizes he can't stay 17 forever. Love and connection, The story shows many kinds of love. The intense, almost spiritual bond between Naoko and Kizuki, the protective yet complicated love between Toru and Naoko, and the vibrant, honest, and demanding love offered by Midori. Memory. Memories aren't just things that happened. They are living, sometimes painful, forces that shape who we are. For Toru, writing is a way to confront and understand these powerful memories. And the symbols. The field well Naoko talks about is like a dark, bottomless hole inside her, representing her deep sadness and isolation. Fireflies, with their faint, fleeting glow, symbolize precious but fading memories, beautiful but hard to hold on to. The book, The Great Gatsby, is very important to Toru. It's about dreams, loss, and the search for something beautiful but perhaps unattainable, reflecting his own longing and disillusionment. This book is filled with beautiful and profound sentences. Here are to that truly stick with you. Quote 1. Death is not the opposite of life, but an innate part of life. Toru reflects on this after Kizuki's death. It means that death isn't just something that happens after life ends. It's always there, a part of our journey from the very beginning. It's a way of saying that accepting death, not running from it, is part of truly living. But even with this understanding, the pain of losing someone is still real and hurts deeply. Quote 2. Midori, in a moment of raw honesty, says, "I'm a real, live girl with real, live blood gushing through my veins. You're holding me in your arms, and I'm telling you that I love you. I'm ready to do anything you tell me to do." This shows you exactly who Midori is. She's not fragile or distant. She's full of life, direct, and brave enough to ask for what she wants. She's telling Toru, "I am here. I am real. Choose me." It's a powerful invitation to embrace life and love with open eyes, even with all its imperfections. So, what can Norwegian Wood teach us? It reminds us that grief is a personal journey, and it's okay to feel deeply, even when it's painful. No simple answers can erase the ache of loss. It teaches us the importance of genuine human connection. Even when it's messy and complicated, being truly honest and present with others is what helps us survive and grow. Most importantly, it's about choosing life. Even when death casts a long shadow, the book encourages us to embrace the vibrancy of the living world, to mature, take responsibility, and work towards our own happiness. For me, this book is a powerful reminder that life is like a box of assorted cookies. You might eat the ones you love first, and then have to deal with the ones you don't like as much. But you still have to finish the box to move on to what's next. It's about finding the courage to taste every cookie, even the difficult ones, and finding your own kind of happiness in the process. While Norwegian Wood is widely loved, some readers might find aspects that aren't for them. The pacing can be slow at times, with detailed descriptions of everyday routines or long conversations that might feel a bit tangential to the main plot for some. Toru, our narrator, can sometimes seem very detached or passive, especially early on, which might be frustrating for readers who prefer more active protagonists. The portrayal of some female characters, particularly Naoko's struggles with intimacy and her eventual fate, can be intense and perhaps challenging for some readers, touching on very sensitive topics. Enrico's traumatic experience is quite explicit. Finally, the ending can feel ambiguous. While Toru makes a clear choice, the very last line leaves you hanging, without a neat, tidy resolution, which some readers might dislike. Norwegian Wood is a journey that stays with you long after you turn the last page. It's a powerful story about the messy, beautiful, and sometimes heartbreaking process of being human. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think it means to truly live and embrace life's messiness? Have you ever read a book that made you feel like you were learning how to grow up all over again? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into incredible books, and share this video with a fellow book lover. Thanks for watching and happy reading.